Good morning, everybody. It's Michael here again with your latest supply and demand market report. I hope you've all been well and had a good trading week. This video is going to be looking at cryptocurrencies, and we're going to start off from where we left off last week. If you do enjoy the videos, please like the videos, subscribe if you haven't, and let's share the information out there. I do appreciate it. So we are looking at Litecoin that is still trading. We're still going to close today in about 14 hours or so, but we've seen a week where it's tried to break out. This was Monday and it's been roundly rejected. So we are seeing a bit of supply coming into the market. The levels we're looking at haven't changed. We still have them drawn in there on the daily chart, as you'll see, and that is what the weekly is looking like. So we are still negotiating this overall supply on the weekly, even though we had a strong move the last sort of couple of weeks before this current week we're in, as you can see when it's blown up and expanded on the daily chart. We have pulled back significantly. We've taken out a small set of buy orders there, and we're just coming down. We are coming down with some force, particularly on Thursday, so it remains to be seen if we will get down to these levels down here, which are back into the range that we attempted to break out from. So as of now, this isn't a failed attempt to break out, just because we closed above that range in yellow, and it's an immediate rejection. It's an immediate rejection back into the range versus if it had continued up in that direction. So just keep an eye on it. It is pulling back. I personally don't necessarily want it to come all the way back today. It's possible, but unlikely. I'd rather it close as it is this week, and then maybe next week, if it wants to continue down, come down to these levels down here. How it arrives at these levels is going to be important, so bear that in mind. If you are left with a cut in your profit margins, some of these trades might not be worth taking, but you'll have to see how it arrives. All right, let's move on to Ethereum. And Ethereum is still, trading mostly within the range of last week. It also attempted a breakout on Monday, trying to form a rally rally. And then I'm talking about here so I can orientate you, talking about this day here on the daily chart. Tried to form that rally base and rally, but again, just like Litecoin has gotten rejected, it's come back into a demand zone and is still holding there. It's not the greatest in terms of location, and like we said, I think last week we did mention, relatively speaking, this was nowhere as strong as Litecoin was, although it is in an uptrend. Or shall we take a look? Was it in an uptrend? It was something that had attempted to go down. It did remove one demand zone, and we had downside momentum. Actually, that line should go to the top. We had downside momentum, which ended. So we've ended the pullback is what has happened, and we've now rallied up. So it's going to continue basing, it seems, in this area. We do have demand in this area overall. I'm drawing it on the weekly chart, and it's showing up here. So we still have those levels within the weekly. The tactics you use to enter these levels will be, of course, a decision you have to make, but those are levels of interest for me in Ethereum. As I've mentioned before, I look at these cryptocurrency charts because I have friends, family who are interested in them, and I sometimes advise them on it. So I don't trade them personally, just so you know, but I obviously do a lot of work on them, as you can see. So that's what we've got. That's what we've got on Ethereum. It is still potential buy if we pull back to these areas to see if we can get the next leg up. But for now, it's hanging around areas where there isn't much to do. And finally, Bitcoin. Bitcoin did have that push a couple of weeks ago, and last week it was an inside period. It still hasn't dropped, which is suggesting some strength. It also tried to break out, but it was nowhere near that of Litecoin or Ethereum. But it hasn't really done anything in the last couple of weeks. It's consolidating the gains it had 3 weeks ago, but all still within the supply. So it's a process of distribution without much new initiation of selling, is the way that I would summarize it, where you've reached into a supply zone that's been previously tested. You've had the first move, you've had demand hold, and it's come back deeper into that supply, suggesting that that supply is weak. It's a suggestion, it's not definitive, and we are not falling. So as important as it is to know what the market is doing or trying to do, it's also important to note what it isn't doing. Even though we're sitting in supply, it's not exactly falling out of bed with supply coming in. The levels to watch are still drawn in and highlighted there on the daily chart, as you can see. So we watch it and we see what happens with Bitcoin. Okay, so that's me done on the cryptocurrencies. Next we go on to the other markets we'll look at. I think we'll do indices next. Thank you again for watching the videos and for liking and subscribing if you haven't already, and for sharing them with your nearest and dearest. I'll see you all again next week. Bye for now.